All right, so right now we are going to talk about how to multiply things that are in sets of parentheses. So this is what I mean by this. Let's say we want to do this question like, I don't know, 12 times 13. Now, right off the top of our heads, it's really hard to see what that is, but we might think of it as some kind of block that's 12 by 13. And if we counted all of these squares here, we would get the answer. Now, there's a little bit of a shortcut here, right? I don't have to actually count all of them. I know that I can break this apart a bit. Let's try to use this highlighter here. If I break this apart like that, now I'm going to rewrite this here on the top. This is going to be the same thing. Let me erase this 13. Instead of 13, let's think of this now as 10 and 2. And let's think of this, or sorry, 10 and 3, I think. 10 and 3, and let's do 10 and 2 here. So it's still going to be 12, right, by 13, but I can save my time. I don't have to count all the blocks because I know in this region is 10 by 10, and that's going to be 100. So let's see if I can write in 100. Okay, now this region right here is going to be 3 by 10. 3 times 10 is going to be 30. And this one, 2 times 10 is going to be 20. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So let me write that out now with less mess. Let's use this guy. Okay, so I'm going to write that again with less mess here. This is going to be 10 and 3, 10 and 2. Now that's going to be one region. That's 10 times 10 is going to be 100. 10 times 3 is going to be 30. 10 times 2 is going to be 20. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So writing this out, we've got 100, 30 and 20 give me 50. And then 3 and 2 give me 6. So I don't actually have to count every single block all around here. I can just do this little trick here, look at all these 4 different regions and say the area is 156. Okay, now we're going to do the same kind of thing here, except now with the letter x. So if I have something like x plus 2 times x plus 3, let me actually draw this out here. So that's going to be something like this. Instead of 10 here, we're going to do x, and we'll do that, x and 2. So if I multiply this out, then I've got x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. So writing all those different things out, I've got x squared, I've got 3x, I've got 2x, and I've got 6. Now 3x and 2x, these are like terms. You can always combine things that are like terms. So x squared plus 3x, 2x is going to be 5x plus 6, and that's the answer. Now there's a shortcut here, and this is a shortcut I want you to learn. That 2 and the 3, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Where do we see 5? We see it right here. 2 times 3 is 6. Where do we see 6? We see it right there. So let's use that here for this example. Let's say I've got x plus 5, x plus 2. We're going to do x squared, and now I'm going to do 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, 7x. 5 times 2 is 10, and that's going to be 10. Now, last time I'm going to draw this box just to show you what we're looking at. This is x, 5, x, 2. X times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 5 is 10. So I've got x squared, 5 plus 2 is 7x, 5 times 2 is 10. So that and that are the same thing. But again, the shortcut here, I'm just doing 5 plus 2, 7, 5 times 2, 10. Okay, this one's for you. Let's do this. X plus 3, x plus 7. Great. X squared, 3 plus 7 is 10. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so that's the idea of multiplying those two things together. Let's actually do one final one, then I'll close this video. What if I have x minus 1 x plus 8. Now here is the same idea, but we've got some negative numbers to deal with. X times x going to be x squared, but now I have negative 1 plus 8. Negative 1 plus 8 is going to be, well, that's the same thing as 8 minus 1, that's 7. So x squared plus 7x. Now I've got negative 1 times 8. A negative times a positive is a negative. That's going to be negative 8. So we're going to write minus 8. Okay, so with a negative, just make sure we don't get that all messed up. Let's try this different one with two negatives. X minus 3, x minus 5. X and x, always going to be x squared on these guys. Now I've got negative 3 and negative 5. Let's look at this. Negative 3 plus negative 5. Whenever you see a plus next to a minus, that's the same thing as a minus. So negative 3 minus 5. Negative 3 minus 5, that's going to be negative 8. Okay, and now we've got negative 3 times negative 5. Let me clear off some space here. Write that out here. Negative 3 times negative 5. Here we've got a negative times a negative. A negative times a negative is always going to be positive. And that's going to be 15. Okay, let's do one for you to work on to close this off. X minus 7, x plus 2. Okay, x squared, negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Negative 7 times 2, negative times a positive is a negative, and we're done.